What's this, 3 in 1 week? Is this the third in a 7-day period?
Oh, I think it's 2.
Really?
Oh, no, it's 3. Friday, Sunday, Wednesday.
It's 3.
Damn right it is.
Yeah, of course you're right. Silly me.
You're trying to take away from my thunder.
Well, I just, everyone is unique, so each has its own little category, and it's hard to look at them in terms of blocks of time.
When you're a constant, like Pat Dalpiaz has been, then they all kind of go together. No, we've been having a lot of fun. I'll tell you, when I go on vacation, one thing that I really do miss is doing the podcast. I love this. This is fun for me.
I can see that. You have a little glow going on.
It is fun for me.
Yeah, it is fun.
I don't know how you guys feel. Jimmy and Pat are here.
Good morning, Gloucester.
Bonjour.
Jimmy's not sick. Muy bien, muy bien. Is muy bien French?
No.
Espanol. There goes. And there
How do you say I'm doing well in French? Très bien. Très bien is not.
Très bien is French.
Good. That's very good.
Très bien is okay.
So muy bien is no good?
Muy is.
You can say more.
Espanol.
That's Spanish.
Espanol.
I'm going to listen. Okay, so in grade school, I took French. In high school, I took Spanish. In college, I took Italian.
Oh.
All of that. French is very different than the other two.
Yes. The other two are more.
The other two
similar.
are like like in college, it was such a breeze to do Italian after Spanish, but French is just brutal. It's a brutal language to try to learn.
I was lucky they offered German as an alternative, and I say alternative because almost everybody took French, but I did German because I wanted to do what was different from what everybody else was doing. But German is a tough language to learn.
I would think.
Yeah.
And the teacher gave us all German names for the room, and he picked them from historical or literary characters. And I'll never forget, even though it's been about 100 years, my name was Ermelinda Tootsie. And she was a German prostitute.
Oh, hey, there you go. Nailed it.
Yeah. I was like, no wonder nobody's in this class.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah. Thank you very much. But I've never forgotten who Ermelinda Tootsie was.
Nailed it.
I don't know much German anymore, but...
Catherine Ryan, we've been talking about, we've been
here.
missing
She's
our Catherine Ryan for the last couple of podcasts, and she showed up. So we have to do her topics first because she has a job to get to. She's a working woman.
She's a working mama.
She's a worker. She's a worker bee. Kim Smith is also with us.
Good morning, Gloucester.
She's got very exciting news. But the Plover meeting went well for her.
The meeting went well.
She decimated her adversaries.
No, it went very well for the community, and then the big meeting is Tuesday night. When the vote goes to full city council, and people have an opportunity to speak. The public has an opportunity to speak and to present their viewpoints.
So do you have a PowerPoint presentation? Do you have slides?
No, because each person is only allowed about 3 minutes. So I'm sure I've seen this happen before in topics like similar to this, where there's going to be quite a long line of people wanting to speak. So we each are just going to say a few sentences and then allow the next person to speak. So
I'm so glad I don't have a dog in this fight.
Yeah, there you go.
This is one
Not
of
that
these.
you have any kind of animal at all.
Literally
but
and figuratively, right?
Yeah,
right.
No.
Yeah.
So there's that. I've fast approached a week into my diet.
Yes.
And what I've come to realize is that dieting is not fun when your life revolves around food.
Right. I don't think it's ever fun.
Imagine if you were a chef.
Regardless.
Oh, yeah.
What? Imagine if I was what?
A chef.
A chef.
A chef.
Well, in his own way, he is. He has his own.
Well, so the and Kate's been making these really great meals. But so for me, the part that is tough is this is my slow time down the wharf, and so my day goes like this. Normally, when I leave wharf, the dock for my morning break, my coffee break, I usually take a little time. I usually head straight for Stop and Shop. And I see what's on sale, what protein is on sale. I pick it up and I plan what I'm going to do with it for the day. Now, the winter months, there's a lot of time off. So I usually get to be creative with my barbecue and do some, stretch the boundaries and try things that I haven't done, film them, make a video, and put it out there. And that takes up a little part of the day. And that's to me, and then eat it. And that's fun to me, right? And that's fun to me. Or if I'm not doing that, it's a really crappy day and I don't feel like grilling outside, I'll call Jimmy or I'll call Chris and, whatever and say, hey, what are you guys doing for lunch? Want to meet at Stone's? Want to meet at, the brew pub? Want to meet at wherever, the Elks, and grab lunch, social, So now being on this diet, the Stop and Shop part is out. The cooking and creating the content for northeastbarbecue.com is out.
You can't do it in a more diet oriented way. Like you don't want to, because like chicken, you have to eat some protein anyways, right? But isn't there a way you could do it so that you're grilling some veggies with it and
not the same.
Yeah, it's not as exciting to grill veggies, but yeah, no, I know. I understand what you're saying.
Like for me, like that would be very appealing to me because like veggies are like there's only so much you can do with chicken and meat. You know what I mean? Like
right, but
there's
different.
Veggies.
So barbecue and grilling are kind of like two different subsets.
Okay.
Well, there's overlap too, but like grilling, fast grilling, like high heat, like grilling something and taking it off. Right. That's the same type of thing that you could do indoors, right?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like you put
even
it's
slow
like
roasting them over the
slow roasting veggies.
Slow roasting them, those are just so delicious. Like and then when you have a little, suppose they're like slowly cooked, and then you have a little bit of crispiness on the edge.
Yeah, no, there's something to that. But anyways, I
How
like.
How long is this?
Huh?
Self-induced.
Diet going on.
How long does something like this happen?
I don't know. So here's something funny. So I was going over with the guys, right? Like,
I just
got. I just got.
Eat it.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
What'd she say?
Catherine. You invite people, and then we eat it.
In front of me, yeah, no. So it's funny. So I'm going away with the guys to Mexico and just got back a week ago, whatever, which started the thing. But before that, Kate was not like encouraging me to diet at all. And in fact, she's watching me eat like during football season like an animal because I'm going away with the guys.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily care about my appearance when I'm going away with the guys, right? And then it's the day I get back and we're going on these trips with her and getting married and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now it's all about the diet.
Well,
You know what I mean? So I'm like,
she gave you your time, and now that
gave my time.
That
It's
time
like,
is
yeah.
up.
So
Now it's
Time's up.
on
Yeah.
time.
so
But when it interferes with your daily routine, when you realize how many things you do,
yeah, my life really revolved around planning food, eating food,
Right.
getting together with friends and eating food.
Yeah.
I think
It's
that's
a
where
social
diets
thing. Food
fail
is
for
a
people.
social thing
Yes,
for me.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
You were with the rabbit, now you're with your other wife.
So okay, so
You have to call Jimmy up and say, "Let's go for salad, Jimmy."
well, there are places in town that have great salads.
I would do that.
Yeah.
If you called up and said, "Come on, let's go ride around and do some salads," fine. And then we wouldn't tell anybody though.
I mean, I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed. Where in town are your favorite salads?
I'd like to know. I just said to him yesterday, I'd like a salad. Where can I get a good salad? I'm not even really sure.
I loved the Cobb salad at Latitude.
Latitude.
That was a great salad. Passports always has good salads. Where else?
But Passports does have good salads.
Where else? Like during the day, like a day place.
Like, so you're asking the wrong person because, I'm always working. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
you don't
hardly
go for
ever-
lunch so
yeah,
much.
I hardly ever go out
I'm
for
trying to think.
lunch.
There's some place that I know I just can't think of it.
It'll come
Maybe
to
it'll
you
come
when
to
we
me.
change topics.
Yeah, it will.
I'm thinking.
Anyway, so yesterday I had the afternoon off, and my mom had knee surgery, and she was going up there to get a checkup. So I took her up to out of town, and on the way back, so Kate and I have a BJ's card. My mom has a Costco card, so she can't. My mom still can't drive with her knee, and she asked me to take her to Costco and Walmart to pick up some things for the house. So we went to Costco, and there's a huge difference between Costco and BJ's as far as quality, I think.
Which do you think has better?
I think the meat department at Costco is unbelievable.
Really?
Like really, really good.
And the fruit and the vegetables.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not convenient for here, I think.
Right.
It's a little less convenient.
I think it depends on your travel route.
Yeah.
But
Where
pretty
is
much
it?
everybody up that way, you know,
Well, it's on Route 1
close to
Oh,
the
okay.
in
Boston
Peabody.
is going
But you
to
can
Costco.
make a loop. If you go down 128 past the North Shore Mall and take the Lowell Street exit
Yeah.
and go you go right off of the exit, go to the end where it intersects with Route 1, and you hop on Route 1 there.
Yeah.
Like only a mile down the road is Costco.
Oh, okay.
So it's not, if you go that way, it's not difficult. If you go come in from a different way, you have to
You have
get
to go
on the
up and
highway
down,
and then loop
right.
around and come back, and that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But so the trick is to go take the what did I say?
Lowell
is it?
Street
Lowell
exit
Street
out.
exit, yeah, and go to the end. So and then if you wanted to go to Walmart after that, the very next exit is come to 114 and come back on 114, and you get to Walmart. If those are the stores that you happen to do some of your bigger toiletry and shopping at. But so anyway, brisket. So I'd heard that Costco. A lot of you guys probably don't cook brisket, but brisket for barbecue is the king, right? And prime brisket. So I had heard on all these barbecue forums that I frequent, they always talk about Costco. Sometimes, they normally carry like choice or select brisket, but every once in a while they'll have some prime briskets that mixed in at the same price. Well, I went there, and first thing I walked in the store. My mother went one way in her car. I went straight to the meat department, and wouldn't you know, they had prime briskets. And if you know grades of meat, you know prime is way up there. It's a great cut of meat,
Right.
and for $3.29 a pound.
What is it? What do you usually pay for it? A pound.
Anywhere in Gloucester,
Yeah.
usually you have to special order it, or if they do, and if you do order it, it's probably like $4 to $5 a pound for like the choice.
Right.
Right.
So did you buy extra? Would you buy extra?
Well, I
for you?
texted Craig and I texted Eric
Yeah.
right off the bat
Yeah.
because of the people I think of when I think of that stuff, and Craig's like, get me the biggest one you can get me. I got him a 13 pounder, and I got myself an 11 pounder.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then you cook it and then you have like yummy leftovers. Is that?
Yeah. They heat up great, and usually I cook for a bunch of people. But I mean, so 11 pound. It was 11 pounder. It was 30. It was like $36 or something like that. I mean, I go to Stone's and that's my lunch. You know what I mean? So I'll call Jimmy when I cook it. Depending on what day of the week, if I have the kids or not, is who I'll call and say, come and have some brisket. Probably share some with Felicia and Barry. So anyway, so not only that, so I'm walking up the aisle and I see the olive oils, and Kirkland.
Yes.
Kirkland brand is Costco's brand, and I had also heard that Kirkland brand vodka is Grey Goose.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Grey Goose rebranded into Kirkland brand thing
Oh, okay.
at
At
30% less
at Costco
money.
prices.
Costco
right.
prices.
Okay.
So I heard that all of their olive oil was
Really?
got super high marks, and some famous chef only uses it and swears by it. So I picked up it was 2 or 3 liter bottle of it. I don't know if is 3 liters close to a gallon. I wonder. It looked like a
It
gallon,
looks
but
like a
anyway.
gallon,
So what I want to do with us
Yeah.
is one day, the next time you buy olive oil, I want you to take note of the unit cost
Okay.
and bring in a cup of it. We'll all do
Got
it.
it.
We'll all do
Okay.
it on the same day.
Okay, and taste
Say the name, the price, and we'll bring in some Virgilio's bread or Scalfani's bread, whatever,
Taste it, yeah.
and we'll do a blind taste test. And
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
don't you think that'd be
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
fun?
super
Yeah.
Olive,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a blast.
love that.
So we'll put it out there like
Yeah.
a week or two beforehand. Maybe we could do it. We'll probably do a podcast next week. Do you guys have olive oil on hand?
We
Yes,
do, but
and
we're
I
going
have
to
one
be
I would
gone.
I do.
Yeah.
Huh?
I have one
That you love.
I'd proffer.
You proffer what?
Offer. She's got one.
You-
She's got an olive oil brand that she wants to put in the mix, in the
Okay.
race. Yeah.
Oh, great. And okay, would you be able to figure out what the per gallon cost would be? Okay, because that's a key part of it.
Yeah.
All right.
And it says right there on the shelf.
Yeah, it says on the shelf, but don't get confused and buy the skinny little. Don't go off of the skinny little bottle price. We all have to go off of either 3 liter or gallon price, and we'll figure out the per gallon price.
So why don't you do it? Because it will be different. It will be cheaper. It'll be cheaper by the gallon.
Oh, that is
So
the
just
bigger
say to
one.
everybody, go to the store and find out the gallon price.
Right, that's what I mean.
Right. Find the gallon price.
Find the gallon
Because
price.
that's the most economical.
Right, that's gonna be. So we have to compare it.
Yeah, apples to apples.
Apples to apples.
Right.
Because obviously the 1 liter price is going to be more expensive
Right.
per unit. So we're going to go with that. But Costco, I'm thinking about dropping my BJ membership and picking up a Costco membership, just based on that. So here's the other thing, though. I feel like we only get to these big box stores 3 times a year.
So is it worth it? Because
That's the thing.
Because
I don't know if it's worth it because if it's $100, I'm not sure if it's $70. Is it $70 to join there?
I don't know. We don't have one near us, so I don't.
Do you know how much it costs, Catherine, per year?
I should.
Well, I don't belong to either of them because years and years ago, I read that a big study in the Boston Globe that basically said it's not worth it. That if you they particularly focused on comparing Stop and Shop because Stop and Shop won. Because if you take advantage of the sales that they have at Stop and Shop of things that you buy, for example, buy one jam, get the other one free, then you will come out ahead. So this.
Well, you
this
wouldn't
was-
buy everything there, though. You would only buy. You would only like to go
Or
there.
even toilet paper. Like you can get like these huge things of toilet paper sometimes at Stop and Shop. Buy one, get the other one 50%
Yeah.
off or whatever. So they just for me, that was enough for me to think, okay, well I don't have time to go to a big box store. You know what I mean?
Well, the
So-
reason we only go there 3 times a year
Yeah, it's 'cause you don't-
is because we go. But when we go, we do a massive shop. Like we
right.
buy
Right.
enormous
Right.
thing of like
Right.
32 rolls of toilet paper,
Yeah.
10 things of paper towels. The 4
Right.
pack
But
or
you-
eight of the tubes of toothpaste that I use.
But wouldn't it only work if you buy every single roll of toilet paper there? Like if say you end up getting like
Well, if we go
half-
3 times a year, that's
Yeah.
covering most of it.
It
for the
is.
year.
So you're not like
Supplementing.
supplementing. Like in 3 months you run out. You don't have time to go to the big box store, so you have to start.
So here's the thing. I think there's merit to what you're saying, because I just looked it up. I'm on the Costco website. It's $60 for an annual membership fee plus tax. So say $63 or whatever.
Why are there different ones? Like
There's Gold Star,
Star,
Executive. I don't know what that gets you, but for what we
the
would
average
get,
person.
well, for average person's getting a $60 thing. So for me, going 3 times a year, we would have to save $20 on each visit.
Right.
I have to tell you, my guess is that's probably just about what we save.
And do they have gas there?
They do, and the gas was $2.09.
Yeah. So just on gas, you could almost.
If you're
If you go
driving
there
past it, I
regularly,
mean, Kate
yeah.
does drive by there.
if she's driving by there.
Kate does drive by there.
Right.
209 yesterday because my mother made a point. My mother does get her gas there, and so my mother uses it, and she gets some kind of bonus points back.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Cliff goes by it. So we have BJ specifically because it's what we had in New York. So we just
Right.
continued it, but that is on his commute. And, he buys wine. I mean, for the things that we're buying, there's no question that
Right.
Oh,
that-
especially-
So
that
you see a value in it then.
Yeah, especially with wine and stuff.
Yeah, and then
I
there's
forgot about
specific,
that. I
and then there's
forgot that.
specific things, but they have these, you know, runs on certain toiletries, and then they're gone. So we used to use I don't have it anymore because I had LASIK eye surgery, but we used to use the contact lens, you know, reference point, like how much is the lens solution at all these places.
Yeah.
And it was significantly less, but you would get attached to maybe some product, and then they discontinue it. And then,
Right.
so you also factor in that, like, well, I can't get that certain deodorant anymore. I can't get that certain toothpaste.
Yeah. Well, contact lens solution is one of those things that
That is a good one.
if
Use it.
yeah, but if you go to CVS with any regularity, 1 out of 5 times that you go to CVS, the contact solution is going to be buy one get one free.
Free, so then you just stock up.
And you
then.
would just bury your cart with it.
Yeah, but these are like for the disposable lenses. There was no question. BJ's was killing it. And when we were in New York, we had such little space. We would share, which I'm sure you're not supposed to do. We would share a membership with another friend on the same floor.
Oh,
So
yeah.
then we would divvy up our big
Yeah.
stuff. But maybe you do that with your sister and mom or your family. I don't know.
Yeah, yesterday I was with my mom, so I used her card because we're not Costco members.
But even just the quantity, so you wouldn't have to have
Right.
10,000
No,
things.
no,
in
no,
one
no.
time.
We have a
Yeah.
big closet downstairs,
So
and we
it's
put
all
all
handled.
the paper stuff.
But we get no meat, no grocery stuff there ever at BJ's because it's horrible.
Their deli meat, I'll give them credit for. They have great deli meat there,
Yeah.
and very inexpensive, like
Yeah.
boar's head. I don't know if I think it's boar's head, but like their prosciutto is like $9.99 a pound or
It's
whatever,
good.
like good stuff.
Yeah,
for
and
those-
they have good Spanish cheese.
Yeah.
Cliff will sometimes get that big cheese, but
Yeah.
anyways.
It's interesting though
But
to think
confidence
about when you.
is
So
better.
when you I guess the point is when you're thinking about it, go back and look at how many times you go per year to these big box stores. Look at how much you're spending, and divide it by the membership cost, and then think about. Do you think you're
well,
actually?
you know, it's
30%
more than just the straight out amount of money that you spend. We used to belong to BJ's when our kids were little, and we were,
Buying a lot more.
buying a
I
lot
think,
more.
yeah.
You needed staples on hand when you needed them on hand,
Right.
and the convenience of having that large pile of paper towels and not having to go to the store and get them
Yeah.
separately for and when you need paper towels, and it's an intangible amount. The convenience of having it there. So that's what I always.
Right, that is the good convenience point.
that
Well,
is
so
what I always-
but like
You can't measure that.
But I'm a mix of the two of you because like Kim, if something because I stop at Shopping Shop, when something is 2 for
Right.
1, I will buy a
Right.
ton of it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when there's a crazy deal at CVS on toothpaste, I bury, I'm getting 10
Right.
tubes.
Right.
The joke is, please do not get any more dental floss because we have so much dental floss in the cabinet because it was on sale,
You
right?
have a lifetime supply
Right,
of dental
exactly.
floss.
Yeah, that's what I
But
do.
anyway, Catherine,
Oh.
there's a lot going on at Cape Ann Museum,
There is.
and there's a mural that someone what's the girl's name
Bonnie L. Sylvester.
painted a mural, but it's a temporary mural.
It's a temporary wraparound mural in 3 parts that she had to, it's above her and it's larger than life. So she had to get up on.
It took
different
2 weeks to
ladders.
produce,
Yeah,
and but it's all going to be painted over.
it's all going to.
So you have a chance to see it.
Yes, it's going to be there through. It's part of the Once Upon a Contest Cape Ann Reed show, which closes on the 24th.
Which you had a big part in, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yes, she
little
did.
part.
She
So what is the theme of the mural?
The mural is a tableau of Cape Ann scenes, almost a mashup of Gloucester and Rockport, and it's just a walk-in environment, just to give another element to the exhibition. And
it makes it feel very cozy and friendly, I think.
And what room is it in?
It's on the top floor. I can't remember the name of the gallery. I think it's called the Greenhead Gallery, actually. On the top floor, it's between, they have a rotating permanent exhibit that's fantastic right now and has many natural and wildlife themes, all different media. And then on the other side is the Virginia Lee Burton exhibition, which goes through the end of the month of March. So that one's up longer. This one comes down the 24th, and there are also 2 other children's book focused exhibits on hand downstairs on the ground floor. There's a semi-installation of the book Schooner by Pat Larry Collins. So all her original paintings. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
There you go. Very cool.
Fun to bring Charlotte back before it goes.
But yesterday, so this week they have a special family family spring vacation, winter vacation camp almost of workshops with all these incredible, authors and artists related to this exhibit, and they're all doing these really.
It's a family workshop.
Yeah.
So as parents are involved with the kids?
They can be, yeah. If the kids are old enough. So some of the kids came for the openings in January and they wanted to get going and make their own books, So it can be as simple as doing an art activity or as involved as really trying to get some master tips. And yesterday was Leslie Gallagher, and she does incredible line work with figurative imagery that you'll see on cards and tea towels all over town. So you know her work, but you might not know it in this context. And I didn't know that she hides her cat, Franklin the cat, and all her elements.
That's cool.
So, and I think a lot of people have trouble drawing figures, and it's just so effortless for her. So to be able to be, in a class with that.
Yeah.
This is already going to be by the time this airs, but today is Betty Weiberg and her daughter, and she created, it's almost like Calder. She created this whole 3D world that you can have this vision, and she'll help you create it 3D.
Wow.
She's really neat.
That's awesome. There's Cape Ann Art Haven and Sawyer Free Library having Vacation Week programming now.
That's right. All week they have special programming. I noticed that the Cape Ann Art Haven in Cape Ann Museum, they all interact together and plan and collaborate. This isn't specifically collaborating, but it looked like Cape Ann Art Haven had the mornings covered.
It's like a hot triangle.
That's great.
Yeah.
Between the 3, all within a block of each other.
And then Sawyer had, science activities and readings, and then also a lot of almost first-run movies. So I think
Fantastic.
they're really
That's tremendous.
Cape Ann Lanes is having special offers for Vacation Week.
So they have, which I didn't pull up, but they have special, 2-hour rates.
For kids.
Yeah, for families.
I know Kate went there yesterday with Connor, and
Did they have
Did they have
fun?
fun?
they have you can't go there and not have fun.
Yeah.
It's so fantastic. Cape Ann Marina, the pool.
That's right.
What do they do? What is their specials this week?
You know what? I have to pull that up and link it too.
Oh,
but it's the same thing.
Catherine.
They have
I think they have special pool passes.
Pool passes and meals, and I just, if you go there, people feel like they're on a vacation for the day, I think. At least the parents.
Right.
when the kids are swimming.
Right.
Yeah, let's see what's going on there. Let's see. They call it the Aqua Room. So you know how Kate is on a diet with me right now. So she was there. She was there a couple days ago. See, this is what you do during vacation week in Gloucester. You go to the awesome mile marker 1 pool.
Yeah.
You got Art Haven. You go to the bowling. It's the cool
Go to
stuff.
the museum.
Let's see. Mile marker 1 is open all
Did
day.
you see this?
Not yet. No, I have to go.
Until the 24th.
Yeah.
It's such a great take to bring your kids down. If you're looking to do and you're stir crazy, Mile Marker 1 pool. So she's there on a diet, and the nachos there and the food there is
Really good.
so yummy. And I on a diet, I would have a hard time going there and sitting there and looking at the food go by because it's all so scrumptious. At Cape Ann at the Mile Marker 1 pool. I love having that here.
Yeah.
I love
That is
having
nice.
that here.
That is
It's
nice
and
to have
it's for parents. Like even if you don't want to get in the pool, they have the televisions there. You can kind of watch. They always have
Lots
kind
of
of like
seating
sports,
and-
lots of seating, comfortable
It
food,
is
drink.
they've done a great job.
It's a great asset. I
Yeah.
love that place. So So there's that. So the Cape Ann Reed thing at
The museum.
the museum has been well attended.
Yes, and it's bringing in different ages. And yesterday, when we went to the workshop for kids, that is upstairs and downstairs, there was also a visiting group from Seacoast.
The nursing home.
Yes, that were enjoying.
So you had like little kids and you had the older folks.
So it
all
appeals
enjoying
across
this.
the spectrum. That's
That's
great.
awesome. I really want to go see it.
Yeah.
I wonder if because we pimp them so much that they'd let me in, or if I have to pay.
Well, you want to pay anyways, don't you?
No, I don't.
Yes,
Yes.
you do.
No, I don't want to pay.
Yes, you want to. You want to support the museum.
Of course, I want to support the museum.
I became a member again this year.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause-
you ought to be a member.
yeah.
I'm a member, yeah.
Are you a member?
Yes.
Yo,
I
you use
the
the archives. You
I
use
use
the shit out of
archives
the
a lot.
archives.
Yeah. And I like to support the museum.
Definitely.
It's a fantastic museum. How much does it cost to be a member?
It's so.
It was, I don't know.
$30. So something
can't
so cheap.
remember.
I can't remember.
It's under $100 for
It was
sure.
like it was under $50.
It might have been.
I've gone every
You might have had a family one.
I've gone every year for the past like probably 6 or 7, 8 years. I don't know. When the blog started, I discovered it all over, all over again.
All over again.
Because when I hadn't gone since I was grade school when
Right.
when every kid in Gloucester
Right.
gets
Go,
trotted
right.
through,
Trotted through.
and then 42 years later, or no, 40 years later.
Right.
Like, oh my God, this is in our backyard. Like, this has been going. Obviously, they
It's
keep
been
it
going
fresh and
right,
everything else,
right.
and I feel
And
like
so
such a
many-
dummy to have not
Well, there's so
recognized
many
this.
changes too over the years. So
It's
yeah,
fantastic.
fantastic
Yeah,
changes.
really great. Pat had a topic. You recently went to get your passport photo and they rejected you.
No, they did not reject me. No. I just didn't know how many people might know. It was been on our list to get the passports renewed in plenty of time before it's going to expire, and I was been nervous about missing the expiration of the passport. And we went down to Walgreens to get the passport photos taken for a renewal, and I don't know how many people were aware that they recently changed the requirements for the photos, whereby you can no longer, for example, wear glasses in the picture, even if you wear them regularly. They have to be able to see your ears. So they're made.
It's funny that
I know. I guess yeah. And it was a little bit of a jolt to realize, oh, this is a little different than the last passport picture I had taken, and it doesn't look like me, really.
Right, 'cause
You know.
you always have your glasses on.
Exactly.
Right.
But the Walgreens person there was very helpful. And
She
it was
knew all
easy.
this. You didn't
Oh, yeah.
say, yeah.
Oh yeah, they
yeah.
knew. Yeah. This is maybe 2 years ago they changed it.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't renewed your passport in the last couple of years, you haven't
You
experienced
Yeah, she,
this. But
Well, she just said it was easy for us because she didn't have to do all these
because you could
different
see our
changes.
ears, you could see our
She
ears.
said sometimes she would go up to people and they say you have to do it, and she says it takes me 20 minutes to explain to somebody, no, you really have to move your
Yeah.
hair.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can't take this photo for you unless you move your hair
Right,
and do this. And I'm
right.
looking at them.
Right.
You need to put signs up or something and warn people. So that's when we got talking about saying we got to let people know.
Yeah. Just
Well,
a new thing.
It was 2 years ago that I got my TSA. Going into the TSA pre-check.
Recheck.
A lot of people don't go out of the country, and that's fine. But if you do any kind of regular travel out of the country and you don't get this, take a little bit of time to get this
Yeah.
done, you're insane.
Yeah.
Because I avoided, like, going into Mexico, like the line that I avoided,
Oh yeah.
there was not a point that I stopped from getting off the plane. I constantly was moving, and I walked past this monstrous football field of a line of people that didn't have it.
So tell listeners what you had to do to get the pre-check.
You have to fill out this. It's a pretty arduous. I don't know. When I say arduous, it might take you 20 minutes to fill out the form online,
And it costs you.
It costs you $100, I think.
It's
Yeah,
up-
something like that.
It's
Yeah.
up there.
It's right around $100 for 5 years, though.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Right. I think so.
I
Yeah.
think it's 5 years, and then then you have to have a meeting at the offices at Logan Airport.
Oh, okay.
As you schedule for a scheduled time, you go in, they ask you a few questions. They're not trying to trick you or anything, and then you walk out, and then they mail you your card.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, to me, it's worth every penny. But we travel, I try to travel anyway. So there.
It sounds worth it.
Yeah.
Not to have to wait in a super, 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 super long line.
Super, super long line. You photographed one bald eagle. Now there's a second.
There's
bald
a second bald eagle. So my friend Lynn, who lives on Niles Pond, reports that what we think is like a 3-year-old bald
Does
eagle.
Lynn spend all day with like binoculars on her back there?
No. She works, and she's just out very early in the morning because she has chickens. She has to feed her chickens and do all that kind of stuff. And we think the eagles are noticing her chickens too.
Oh, I imagine they are.
She keeps them. She doesn't have free range chickens anymore. Between the coyotes and the eagles and the black vulture. The black vulture. She's feeding the black vulture Hector burgers. And so, because
if you have free range chickens on Eastern Point and your chicken got eaten, shame on you.
Yeah.
No, they're in this. She has them now in a great
Pen,
big enclosure. But anyways, to get back to the young eagle, seems to be hanging out quite a bit with an eagle that's 1 year older, and it's my understanding. I have to read more about this, but they start building a nest together a year or two before they start mating. So neither one of them is at the mating age yet, but it's so interesting that they're a year apart, so they're obviously not siblings.
Oh, right.
Right, so maybe they're going to be,
Well, they could be siblings.
From 2 years.
Right, siblings, but not from the same hatch.
Right, not from the same hatch, that's what I meant.
Good point.
Yeah.
Right, but, so, anyways, they usually choose, because the largest eagle's nest was 9 feet in diameter, 10 feet deep, because they add to it each year, and weighed over 1 ton. So they choose. Did you hear that? You're on your phone. They
weighed a ton.
An eagle's nest can weigh over a ton.
A ton of twigs is absolutely outrageous. Because I got a ton of wood pellets delivered yesterday. And to move a ton of wood pellets, it's a lot of work.
So the eagles choose the largest tree in the area to nest in, and they try to form it in one of the strongest V's of the tree. So, anyway, who knows? Everybody, keep your eyes peeled for a big eagle's nest in tall trees. Wow. And Lynn has a lot of very tall trees on her property, also. So.
That'd be really cool to have because you have access to Lynn's house.
Chicken sandwich.
And then we have Hector, who's coming around to Lynn's house also. So he's out on Niles Pond as well. And there's also the 3 young swans have been there now since last weekend. So that's a good sign. But we don't know the future of that will be, because Mr. Swan has been in Rockport all this time. So I don't know what's going to happen when Mr. Swan returns to Niles Pond, if he's going to chase the 3 young swans off or whatever. So,
Dun dun dun.
Well, we were at Henry's Pond recently, and Mr. Swan was there, and there were the carload of these young men who were taking pictures with their cell phones of Mr. Swan, and they got out of their car. So this is thanks to you. This is kudos to Kim. They get out of their car and they're taking the pictures, and I'm standing there and I'm taking pictures, and I'm letting them go, and I hear one of them say, "Well, if it's a female, then where are the eggs, or where are the chicks?" And so I said, "Well, that's enough of that. I'm going to have to go tell him the story." So I step over and I say, "Oh no, that's So I tell him a little bit of Mr. Swan's story, and they were suitably impressed. So, but what got me was that there are these young men. They were in their, I'm going to say, early 20s. There were 3 or 4 of them, and they were interested in
that's
it.
Wonderful.
And I thought that was
that's a really far. People's thoughts about these kind of local wildlife has really changed, because when Mr. Swan first arrived and it was publicized, kids went out and shot the swans with arrows. and there was even a photo of a swan with an arrow through it. And
Well,
flew around like that.
you know,
So-
10, well, not 10 years ago, but maybe 7 or 8 years ago, in the harbor, there was a ton of these swans. Do you remember? There was
Yeah.
like 7 or 8 swans.
Yeah, because Mr. Swan used to have bigger families, and then as he's gotten older, his family has his like the last.
He's the final survivor.
No, he's the father. He was the father of those swans.
The grandpapa
He's
of
the father.
swans
And all the little ones die?
Because we have because the snapping turtles have gotten bigger over the years at Niles Pond. They're pulling the young, they're killing them, and also the coyotes are killing the swans. So if the swans go to shore, the coyotes kill them. But since we have Mr. Swan and he doesn't have a mate, there's no babies right now. We're not going to see any babies unless he mates. And then even if he does, his last couple of broods were smaller. So I think because he's in his 30s, right? He's at least 30 years old.
These swans that were here like 7 or 8 years ago, they were big swans.
So what happens is you have the mom and the dad, and then the cygnets stay with them for almost a year. But that's why we're seeing these.
So in a year's time, they get to be full size?
Yes, almost full size. So what's happening now with these almost full size 3 swans that are at Niles Pond right now? What typically happens with the male swans push out at this time of year. The male swans push out the young ones that they've been hanging out together for almost a year. It's time for them to go, so he can, so they could start a new family. So that's why, because I have lots of nice footage and photos of Mr. Swan, his mate, and then 6 or 7 cygnets with them. So, but then they get pushed out. So because they're very territorial.
So they don't want even their own kids. They don't want them
They don't
around.
want their own kids. They want them to go, and which makes sense because you don't want everybody like breeding. You don't want siblings breeding with siblings.
Right, yeah.
So you have to go out and.
Clover ordinance meeting. Kim decimated her opponents.
No, that isn't.
Once again.
No, we didn't. We did not do that at all last night.
It's a joke. Okay.
Not an
Let's hope everybody understands this is a joke.
It's just.
I'm joking. Not Kim's not joking.
Right.
No,
I'm joking.
I want to give a shout out to the Animal Advisory Committee of Gloucester, led by Alicia Pensarosa, our Pet of the Week contributor, and they have just done an outstanding job because one thing people have to understand is that communities that only do half-baked measures, they have a 20% chance of fledging chicks. Communities that do the full gamut of, pay attention to trash, do the whole thing, they have an 80% chance of fledging chicks. And Gloucester's Animal Advisory Committee has done an outstanding job presenting a bunch of ordinance changes that will really help not just the plovers but all the shorebirds that are on our beaches. They've really, really done an outstanding job. And Alicia did a really good. She had to be the one to go up in front of the 3 counselors. So it was Sean Nolan, Steve LeBlanc, and Jamie O'Hara, and she had to be the one that answered all their questions, and she did a really terrific job. And so now it's voted. I'm learning a lot about city government through this whole process, and now it has next week. It goes before the whole city council. They're going to be asking a lot more questions, and people have an opportunity to speak at that meeting, and then it gets voted on. So
there you go.
yeah, so it's very good.
You have been preaching for years and years
Yeah.
that the 2 best kind of milkweed are common milkweed and marsh milkweed. As a
Right.
matter of fact,
Right.
when you had your distribution thing here at the
Right.
dock,
Right.
those are the 2
Those are the 2
that you
Right.
distributed.
Right.
Well, there was a study
A big study
that recognized these 2,
Yeah.
reinforcing everything that you've been saying for years. You're always at the forefront.
Yeah. Well, it's
You are the most,
I see-
what do we call her?
Well,
The preeminent, most authoritative.
no.
No, what is it?
Doctor.
Doctor. Well, no, we don't.
No.
She's but she's the foremost authority on
No,
Cape
no.
Ann Wildlife.
Cape Ann Wildlife.
I'm just have a Good Morning Gloucester is a way to get information out there.
And-
I'm sure
and-
there's like PhD lepidopterist, which I am not.
the
So.
keeper of
And
the
just in case people don't already know, it's milkweed to feed monarchs.
Right.
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 Good point, Pat.
So the it's they have a lot. I somehow I didn't get the joke, but
No, keep on going. So no, but that's kind of, it reinforces everything that we've already known, that
Right.
Kim is the preeminent
Well,
monarch
you know what?
authority.
you know what?
On the Northeast.
It's just being out there every single morning looking. You know what I mean?
You know what? She's not a doctor, but you know how they give honorary doctorates?
Right. Yes, they do.
They should give you Salem State should give you an honorary doctorate for your work on the monarchs. I think that would be fantastic, and then you can give the keynote speech, and then you can get one of those fancy robes.
and you've
wouldn't that be
given a
great?
keynote speech,
Yes,
speech
yes.
already.
Yeah, you already have it. You
Yeah.
probably already have it in the can.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Anyways, there's so many people
So
that know
who do
so
we
much
have to
more.
who do we have to speak to get you on the list of honorary doctorates? So that way, there when we say that when we can add to your list of titles like they do. Have you ever seen
Let's wait till the.
who's seen Game of Thrones? Who's seen Game of Thrones here?
I do not watch Game of Thrones.
God damn it!
I know.
So the main the dragon woman.
Yeah.
She every time she conquers but she embraces a new tribe, she adds that to her title. So she's this, and this. And when she started out, she was just this.
Okay.
Queen of the Andals, the
Dragon's Help.
Yeah.
all this stuff. So we would have it would be great to have 15 different titles, the preeminent, and then be able to add doctor to Kim's list of.
And your viewers can't see how red her face is getting right now.
Well, the GMG Institute.
The GMGI Institute, Good Morning Gloucester Institute.
Yes, I think the letterhead. You should write something on the letterhead. We'll take a picture of the place, and we'll just send it through saying you've got to do this. So we'll help.
Can
We'll
I
do what we
tell you? I'll tell you my latest
That opening
my
on
latest
Friday.
Monarch film update.
Yes.
Yes.
This week we're finishing the voiceover, and then with the most, I told this to Catherine. I don't know if I mentioned this to you or not, but something very exciting happened last week is music that I've been hoping to gain the rights for.
You told us.
Yeah. Oh, for
Yeah.
4 years. I don't think I still mentioned it on the podcast.
Oh,
No, I think
okay.
we were just chatting, yeah.
Yeah, we were just chatting. So no, this is big
Yeah,
news
it's
for
big news.
for all the people that follow this and contributed to your Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
Go.
As they have heard this beautiful music by Jesse Cook in my trailer, and I'd use 4 of his songs to bookmark the film, which just means you put it as a placement. You hope that you can gain the rights to it, but otherwise you have to go to a composer and say, this is kind of like what I want my music to sound like, and hope you get something like, similar but not exactly the same. But anyways, I've been writing for the last several years, and they agreed to allow me to use these 4 beautiful songs. And I
That's
just
great.
think they just go so perfectly with the film. And
Huge
so many
victory.
ways.
That's a
Yeah.
huge victory,
Yeah.
shows a lot
Yeah.
of support
And
for the effort.
And they are not charging me.
That's
So that money could be spent towards
towards promotion or
Yeah.
right. And that's $4,000 I had budgeted for that
Boom.
part. Right. So.
Very nice.
This is huge.
That is big news.
is.
It seems like the never-ending project.
Right. Well, you know what? Like
How
one of-
close? Okay, if you had to.
But not on the Spanish documentary.
Right. Like
No, because it's a
That's
real
a good
deal.
one.
No, because it's a real deal documentary. It's a testament to such a
Right.
real deal. You're not.
It's not
There
that
is
long.
no compromises in this documentary. So wait, what do you have a timeline? When
Well,
you'd
so-
like it to be done?
Well, so my hope was that it would be done by the beginning of March, but since I'm going to Mexico in early March, some of that footage, that new footage, will hopefully be plugged in. Hopefully, because I'm going very late towards the. They usually
When's the deadline for Sundance?
I do not know.
So the
Yeah,
butterflies usually leave at the spring equinox. They start leaving Mexico around the 16th. And I'm going from the 10th. They start leaving around the 15th. I'm going from the 10th to the 16th. And so it's with a little bit of global climate change, they could already be going by the time I get there. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Yeah, that we get this. Just
They'll be there. They'll be there waiting for you.
I'm just.
I have faith.
Just really praying.
I have faith.
If not, they got good. They have good food down there.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, listen to this. The B&B that we're staying at it's in a very remote area, and so it's a Mexican gentleman and his American wife. They own the B&B, and then right next to it is the restaurant, the only restaurant in town that is run by the gentleman's mama and 5 sisters.
Oh wow! Look at that.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
There's a super moon. Last night was the super
Last
moon,
night
the
was this
full
super-
snow moon.
It was this full snow moon, also a super moon, one of 3 super moons. So last month the wolf moon was a super moon, this month and next month, which just means the moon's closest to Earth right now.
So our Adventure Man update, he did 40 miles yesterday. Did he say 40?
I think that was 40 or 40.
40 miles
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because a lot of people have 26. They struggle to get 26. And he's got 21 to go.
Yeah.
And so he did a video update. And his, so he slept in a tent last night.
Yeah, and only 4 hours of sleep. What's that?
Yeah,
Why?
because he was taping at 1:30 in the morning, and then he posted the next update was at 6 a.m.
Yeah, it was sunrise. So.
And it was sunrise, cold.
Yeah.
And he slept in a tent like in the woods off of the side of the road.
And he's going to have a rough night tonight, I think, with the weather.
Yeah.
I know.
But so part of what his update yesterday was talking about how he's kind of nervous about finishing because he really wants to enjoy every part of this, because then he goes back into real life, right? And then there's such a high, and there's highs and lows of this, but he has I love his perspective about it. Like, I really want to enjoy like all these interactions and the meetings with people and enjoy the pain and all of it, because when he go back to regular life, it's just regular life again.
He's going to be sad. He's going to be sad.
He's going to be
I'm feeling
sad.
he'll have another big project before we know it.
Oh,
he seems like that type.
I imagine.
I
imagine he.
I don't know
will.
what gets him up and out in the morning. Honest to God, I don't know how he's done it day after day after day.
I think
does he ever get like a good night's sleep? Does he ever,
he does.
Sometimes he goes to people's houses
or he takes a day off here and there.
I don't know why he was at those people's houses. I guess they didn't offer to put him up for the night, because earlier in
if he ran through Harpersville, there wouldn't be a place for him to go except somebody's house. So it does sound like he's in rural areas.
Harpersville is not along the coast.
No, that's
along
true.
the coast. There's generally.
That's true.
Generally,
within
I wonder how many.
Harpersville is the sticks.
It is.
Along along the coast, there's much more, a lot more development than
true.
in the middle of the country.
But if you're like running along like the North Carolina or South Carolina coast, there's like vast areas of like barrier beaches and stuff like that where there's no development there.
Yeah.
So
why do you think that is? Because of the hurricanes so often?
Part of it was part of the National Seashore System.
Places where plovers could actually go?
Yes, there are
and not be disturbed?
There are plovers in North Carolina.
They don't have to have 24/7 surveillance to keep them alive. Yeah.
But like if you look at the map of Cape Cod, the whole back end of the Cape is all protected national seashore.
Yeah, another place that plovers could go and keep on and not have to have 24/7 to survive.
Well, they do.
What a surprise.
Actually, they do on the Cape. They do on the Cape.
I think
they actually do have 24/7.
It's just the whole thing is a barrier thing.
Yes, and
miles and miles.
And the nesting areas are cordoned off and they're protected.
There you go.
But he's not taking the scenic route.
No, he's not.
It looks like he's sort of taking major routes and then a slightly less trafficked route parallel to like a major route.
And that's what I'm
not really
interested in.
running along the water.
Because he's getting near Washington.
Yeah.
And from Washington, basically it's Philly. I mean, you got Maryland, you got Baltimore in there, and then you got Philly. Now, you could go across the coast there, and that's where the Navy and everything else is. And this is going to be quite interesting. I don't know if he's going to go inland a little bit
yeah.
or stay out.
Well,
I'm
China has
very
some major
interested.
hospitals.
But
Right,
also,
right.
like, if you tried to jog along a highway along here, the police wouldn't let you. I think there's state laws
Oh,
about
yeah, that's
not
why he's
doing
not
Yeah,
on
it.
the
yeah.
highways.
Yeah.
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 I wonder how many sheriffs he's met. How many county sheriffs? How many counties are represented?
How many Buford teams?
Almost every video, there's
a
an
sheriff in
interaction.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Son, you're-
If anybody's not following this guy, you're really missing
gotta
out.
look.
You're
Adventure
jogging
Man.
in my town, son.
Just Google Adventure Man and you will
Well,
find
Facebook, I think, is the
Jamie
best
McDowell.
way, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to have you don't even have to have even if you're an anti-Facebook person, which I could understand why you would be,
Right.
But even if you're an anti-Facebook person and don't want to create an account, you can still go to Facebook and type in Adventure Man in the search box and find his videos,
Yeah.
which are really, really,
Really
cool.
interesting. Looking forward to having him in Gloucester.
He's coming.
I can't wait.
Even though he's going to be sad.
I
when he
hope
gets
to
here.
God, I really hope we get him on the podcast.
I know.
really, really
Are you
hope.
listening, Jamie? I will send you this link.
You know something? Like sometimes they tag us on the Twitter in the Twitter posts, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Which makes me nervous because we're posting. No one's posting about him like we are.
I know. Well, we don't know that, but
Sandy Jimson.
is
Oh,
the
I gotta get on Sandy.
is his?
I'm gonna just tag her on all the time.
That's a good idea.
That's what I do. I
That's
gotta
an
tag
excellent
Sandy.
Who's Sandy Jim?
She's his. You know, he kind of like acts like he does all this stuff himself, but I think he sends the videos to her. I don't think he's editing
She's
the
in
videos.
England.
She's in England, and she does a lot of the postings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think he has a
She
little
does
bit
the
of-
advanced. She seems to do some of the advanced work.
Yeah.
Like she's contacted me about a couple things to get lined up before he arrives.
Do I have to reach out to her? Or are you gonna do this?
I'm making my efforts, but as you know, my style is not like yours. So
Okay, I'm gonna take over.
So-
I'm gonna take this over. I'm gonna take this over. All right, no problem. And that's no slide. It's just
I got
if
you.
I
You know
this is
what?
like me and Kate. Like
I got
if you're gonna play the passive here, I can't handle passive.
You know what?
Plus, he doesn't have barbecue.
that's
He
right.
needs a project.
He needs a project.
You know what
That'd be
would be
fucking
good
awesome.
is to I wish that like WBZ and Channel 5 and all those
Well,
people were like lined up.
Sandy is tagging like these other.
But you have friends at WBZ. You
I
can-
do,
you
yeah.
can just-
Well, they're gonna. When it all comes to a head, see, here's the thing. When it all comes to a head, all the big things are going to be there. Is he going to
yes.
forget about us that we're there every step of the way? That's the question. Sandy Jimson, are you listening to me?
Are we? Yeah. I send him the links to these podcasts when we talk about him, so that he'll.
Okay.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
What do you send?
I
Privately?
do things, I do things.
Do you?
I'm just not.
See, okay.
You
So,
know,
well, you could have told me that, and I'd feel more at ease.
You should still get on it. Go.
Yeah, go. You need something to do.
Joey, I've learned one
So
thing.
maybe they take it for granted that they already know that we're going to share these things, so that they don't feel like they have to tag
with
us.
your
in some of
diet,
these things.
especially with your diet right now.
Yeah.
You need something to fill
Cranky.
the
I have hanger. I have fucking hanger.
I've learned one thing, Joey. If you don't ask, you'll never know.
Plus, it's like, well, I won't say that.
Go ahead. What are you going to say?
No, just, he's an interesting character. And you'd be a good
You're-
match
you're-
for
There we go. That's well said. Well said.
You're also an interesting.
I thought you were going to say I was an interesting person. What are you saying? Is she patronizing me?
No.
Well, am I missing something? I'm not an interesting person.
She's
Trying
making
to
a good
do an ad.
observation.
Yeah, I
Saying-
think it would be great. Great
She's
match.
doing an ad to the Adventure Man saying, "We know you're interesting, but you got to
haven't
see what we got
enjoyed
here."
it. Yeah.
That she's just trying to.
So
Well,
come and do the
I mean, we're building this thing to a crescendo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank you
Brick
for the
by brick,
music
we're
credit.
building this thing to a crescendo. What?
Thank you for the
But
music
here's the fact. Wait. All right, let's go back to this.
We need to bang
because
it.
all these videos that we're watching, like a day goes by and he runs into one or two people on the road.
Yeah, he
and
does.
we're saying there's gonna be a fucking 1,000 people. Well, I don't want to say that. Maybe there's 50. Maybe there's 1,000. I don't know. But my guess is like I'm dying to be there at the end when this
Right.
guy strolls
I know,
into
me too.
town. Like I have a feeling
Will you
between
run the
us
last mile?
and Safathia, and I guarantee you a bunch of other people are going to hop on board at the end here.
How about like Muffy? You know how she runs everywhere and does all kinds of running stuff. Like, does she know about this? Like, what if we could get her and
Oh, the
her
running
running
club.
girls.
and her
The running club.
her
Listen, this is going to be before it's
friends
gone.
to
When he's
Well, there's
running
the-
with the big crowd behind
To-
him.
to-
There's the
join-
Gloucester.
join
There's the one that Bob Gillis is. Bob Gillis, I know there's a lot of other people that are involved in it. They have those navy blue T-shirts that has the codfish on it. It's like the Gloucester Runners Club or something like that. And they're at every race, and they all wear the same shirt. That would be.
He's somebody to contact then.
He's someone to contact. Yeah,
See,
yeah.
so you have a lot of spare time right now.
There you go.
On your diet.
I'm gonna reach out to them today. As a matter of fact, that's a great idea. I'm gonna wait. First thing I'm gonna do is
Reach out to all
First thing
of
I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Sandy and Adventure Man in a private message. Wait, I'm not going to share this because everybody's going to hop into my ideas.
Your ideas don't.
Shh. Let's pretend that didn't happen.
I see steam coming from their headphones right now.
Again, we don't have to worry because no one
Nobody
listens to the
listens.
podcast.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why would they?
Why would they listen?
Especially this part.
All
They
right.
turned it off a while
Especially
ago.
at the end,
You
yeah.
turned it off.
They turned it off.
Paula,
Well,
are you listening?
Catherine,
Yeah.
Catherine said she was going to leave, but she had such a good time she
I
stayed for the
did,
whole
and I had
thing.
a cancellation.
I don't think-
GloucesterCast 320. Wait, you got something to add, Jim? Go.
No, I was just going to say, it's time to close it right up now.
Well, thanks, Jim, for
Because,
quarterbacking this thing, Jim.
well,
Thank you.
only because it's been turned, everybody else turned it off about 15 minutes ago after Kim's report and stuff. Yeah, might as well just close her off because nobody.
GloucesterCast 323 is officially in the books.
If you're still there.
Have one. Just take them.
No, just